morning. I swear a lot.
Hello friends, and welcome back to Library of Ruina. So we do intend to continue the Sea-Wide Revolt, but we're not quite doing that today because there's something I want to do / showcase, right? Because there has been a mod. The mod was made a little while ago, actually, but I was busy with Limbus and stuff, so I didn't get time to cover it when it came out. But there has been a mod for Lemon and Yui, who are two of our mainstays in the Floor of History, and both characters, in fact, having been reoccurring characters in both my Lobotomy Corporation series and my Library of Ruina series. And, well, Lemon's an XCOM, so they're popping up a fair bit. But there's now a unique mod in regards to unique key pages and combat pages for both of them now. But we don't have access to them yet, because, you see, in order to get those pages, we must defeat them in battle, which I imagine is going to be kinda tricky, because they're probably going to be quite strong. But to be fair, I spoke to Lemon and he was like, look, it's balanced, it's not ridiculously overtuned. I assume then by that they will not be ridiculously overtuned. However, I'm going in with both barrels, or perhaps I should say 5, because I've set up the Floor of General Works. Not the most overpowered floor in regards to abnormality pages perhaps, but it does have Roland, so they are going up against Black Silence, which is a bit rough for them, I suppose, but they'll be alright. I'll quickly take you through the builds. I've not held back on what I've given them. I think this will be offset by the fact that I haven't played Ruina in like over a month, and I've probably lost most of the efficacy I had gained whilst doing Sea-Wide Revolt, so I'm probably going to play like shit. So I've got potentially overpowered characters to make up for it. They're also probably not built as well as they could be, so once again, that balances things a little bit as well. But we'll start with Roland. Very obvious, I don't need to go through all that specifically. Obviously has a Black Silences page, but also has the 12 fixes, Locked Potential, and Raging Torrent. So he will get stronger. He benefits from using unique key pages, which, funnily enough, is kind of Roland's whole thing. Should roll out quite well. I think he'll be fine. At the very least, he'll be decent, I think. It's kind of hard to fuck up Roland, especially at this stage. As for me, I have Eileen's page with Smoking Pipe, Multi-Slash, Smoke Blow, Smoke Smash, Defense Order, Assault Order, Smoke Prick, Will of the Prescript, and Ever-Spinning Gear Wheel. Obviously with what Eileen has as standard, but I also have Your Shield, Liquefied Flesh, and Locked Potential, going for that Smoke Defensive Singleton hybrid, which I remember doing well, but I don't know if I've built it properly. It'll probably be fine. At bare minimum, it'll probably do alright. A lot of evasive die to kind of jerk around attacks, and while probably not doing a shit ton of damage, I will probably land a few hits in return. So I'll probably contribute to the overall proceedings. Lorelei, I went kind of overboard in terms of being a field commander. I've given her Mirene's page with 2 Grace the Grass, 2 Brace Up, 1 Vizier, 1 Seize Your Chance, Concentration, Augury Kick, and True Trigram Formation with the commander. The standard charge limit is 11, right? Fucking hope so. Oh, this is gonna be funny. The commander, reindeer treatment, and keeping in stride. Obviously, Lorelei's job is gonna be to make everyone else better, naturally. Lane is Lane. I've done this before, and it's as stupid as it's ever been, but he's on Bamboo Had Kim's page with 2 times Overcome Crisis, 2 times Draw the Sword, 1 time Yield My Flesh, 3 times Burning Flash, and 1 time Violet Blade with Nuovo Fabric. Finalize from Sea-Wide Revolt. This isn't probably going to do much, but I wanted to try it out. And Mad Dash, also from Sea-Wide Revolt. To kind of give him a bit of defense with all of his singular strike pages, as it were, gives him a little bit to fall back on. Combined with Nuovo Fabric to mean he'll take less inevitable damage when he gets hit in return. I don't feel particularly confident about this as such, but I like Lane being a inflict damage at all costs, including to myself kind of fighter. So it works well for that. As for Sweetman, something similar to what's before, but also different, I imagine. He's got Elena's page with 2 times Overcome Crisis, 2 times Cleanup, 1 time Sharpen Blade, 1 times Sky Clearing Cut, 1 time Snake Slit, 1 time Vizier, and 1 time Violet Blade. He's also got Dark Cloud Blade, Keeping in Stride, Offensive Position, and Fervor, focusing on offense above all else. I'm thinking the combination of, which one is it? Sharpened Blade and Snake Slit providing slash bonuses with his own inherent strength and slash power bonuses, and the bonuses that Lorelei will be providing, will allow him to keep up. But this is Impurita Civitatis, so I am taking a bit of a risk building it like this, I'm not gonna lie. But, well, I mean, I like Kurakumo, you know, Limbus is a testament to that, and I wanted to see if I can make it work. We'll see. If I fuck it up, then oh fucking well, I suppose. I'm not particularly worried in the sense that I don't care if I lose. But let's give this a try. I'm eager, and I'm actually glad this locks behind a reception because I think it's a pretty cool idea. And the idea of fighting them is also pretty cool. There they are. Lemon and Yui, it's... Wait, do we only get 3 people? Ah, okay, alright, yeah, that's more fair. Right, well, I'll tell you what, we'll take out Roland, because that only seems fair. It'll be me, Lorelei, and Sweetman, and we'll see how that goes. So let's go through these one by one and figure out what they're all about. Lemon's page, 225 HP, 150 stagger resist, 2 to 7 speed. All seems pretty standard. No weaknesses, unsurprisingly, because no one at this stage has weaknesses, so why would Lemon? That would actually just make the character notably worse than everyone else. Speed 3, yep. Yep, that's also standard. Instinctual coordination. When clashing against ranged combat pages, defensive die gain 2 power, and dice on the opponent's page lose 1 power, gain a counter die, block for 8. On clash, gain 2 burn on combat start. Reactive ignition. On a deflect, inflict 1 to 2 burn on each other. That's fun. The first block die on each page deals bonus damage on a deflect equal to 1/3 of target's burn rounded up. Someone's been playing Limbus. Cannot exceed the block die's natural max value. Okay, so that would be good for Blockma, I suppose. It would play well with it. Rayette. At the start of each scene, give a random other ally 1 protection for every 3 burn on this character, max 5, and gain 1 endurance. This unit takes 20% less damage from burn, gain access to 2 special pages at emotion level 4, and then finally Fire of Determination at the start of the axe, gain 20 burn. Okay. Wait, 20 less damage. Oh my god, not 20%. My brain just auto-corrected that to 20%. No, 20 less damage from burn. Okay, so he's taking no burn damage to begin with. Alright, fair enough, I see. I thought 20 burn was quite a lot and would be quite crippling, especially if it was only 20% less damage, because that would just be like, what, 4 less burn? So he'd still be taking 16, which at 225 health, and combined with attacks that will likely be landing, it would not take long for us to win, or at least to knock Lemon out of the picture. So okay, yeah, no, that makes sense, fair enough. Oh, there's unique art. Oh, you love to see it. Look at all that shit. Good stuff. Okay, let's go through them one by one. Promise and Determination. Restore 1 light and gain 4 burn. If burn is 10 or higher, draw a page. Defensive die. Clash when inflict burn. Clash lose gain burn. Okay. Kindling to the Fire. Spend 4 burn to restore 3 light. Okay. On clash when inflict 1 burn. On hit, draw 1 page. Burning Will. Restore 1 light and draw 1 page. Restore an additional light for every 2 emotion levels. 4 to 7 block. Inflict 3 burn to self. Inflict 2 burn to each other. Okay. Immolation, gain 6 burn, inflict 2 burn to each other, inflict 2 burn, gain 2 burn. Immolation again, yep. Relentless Pyre, on you spend 5 burn on self to boost power of all dice on this page by 2. That's pretty good already. Spend 6 burn on target to gain 2 endurance next scene. So you take your opponent's burn away, or delete your opponent's burn in order to gain endurance. Okay, which would then lean into making these skills better. Like for instance, Promise and Determination, which does need to be used. Getting a bonus on that would be helpful, because even if you just have a high value on your block die, even if you still lose, you're mitigating damage, so that's pretty good. Coordinated Assault, we know what that is. And Shining Star, give 2 protection to a random other ally and self next scene. 7 to 17, inflict 1 burn to all enemies. On clash win, inflict 1 burn to each other, and a counter die on clash win, inflict 1 burn to each other. Okay, right. Nothing there seems like, oh my god, this is absurd, but it's also clear. Sorry, I'm moving my microphone. It's clear Lemon's not going to be a pushover. Okay. Yui, funnily enough, can use ranged combat pages, go figure. Speed 3, 200 health. Yep, this is all standard. Ammo supply, which I'm a personal big fan of. Mixed range skirmishing. Dice on the first range combat page and the first melee combat page the character uses each scene, gain +1 power, and the first offensive die on the page inflicts 1 fragile per hit. Or on hit. Kasha, at the start of the scene, gain 1 haste for each preceding scene that the character took no damage from attacks, up to 4. Upon defeating an enemy, gain a counter die, evade 410 at combat start next scene. That's a strong counter die. Raziel, on a successful hit, deal bonus damage against targets with slower speed. Okay, 1 bonus damage per 2 points of difference up to the current emotion level. Emotion level 4 or above, gain access to a special page. Defensive wall, if another ally is alive, gain 2 counter die, block 4 at combat start. That's the interesting one, because that, combined with the protection, makes Yui really hard to kill until Lemon's gone, which means it might be worth focusing on Lemon to begin with. I assume that's the strategy, we'll see. Bottom deal and stacking the deck, we know these, it's discard shit. Strategize, rounded. Okay, these are not unique art, but they are different cards. Okay. Strategize, restore 1 light upon discarding this page. Unused, draw 1 page. Evade and slash. Round in the chamber, discard a page with the lowest cost and restore 2 light. Add a random ammunition to hand on hit. All right. Reload, I love it. Point blank shot, discard a page with the lowest cost. If an ammunition was discarded, gain 3 haste next turn. On clash win, last die gains +1 power. On hit, deal 4 stagger damage. Shot on the run. Discard 2 pages with the lowest cost from hand and draw a page. All dice on this page gain +1 power for each ammunition discarded, so +2. Game 1 haste, game 1 haste. Okay, so speed. Bayonet combat, I love it. Focus fire, I love it. And become a mere memory. Exhausts when used. Upon defeating an enemy with this page, add a copy of Become a Mere Memory to hand and draw 3 pages. On use, discard all pages from hand. Offensive die on this page gain +1 power for each ammunition discarded. With no upper limit, it seems, other than obviously your hand size. So use exclusive page. Inflict 1 fragile for each page discarded by this page. Deal plus 50% more damage against targets with 50% or less HP. Okay. I'm sure I'll be fine. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go do it. Ah, boy. Don't get in our way. I really don't want to fight any of you. That sucks, bro, because I need your fucking key page and your combat pages. Let's get this going. Okay, so what are we dealing with? God, I forgot how different this controls than, like, Limbus. Oh my god, it's so different. Wait, why can't I drag the screen through clicking? Oh, okay, it's middle mouse. Ugh. Oh, it's so different to Limbus. Oh my god. Okay, so Burning Wheel, Kindling to the Fire, Promise and Determination, round in the chamber, reload. No ranged attacks, as far as I can tell. I've got a lot coming in on me. A 5, which I'm probably going to need to deal with. It's just defensive die, and he is gaining Enduring, so that's 5 to 8, 4, 3 to 4. Not mathing well today. It's alright. I reckon I can hit that with a defense order. I gain a lot of defensive bonuses, so that should be okay. I could probably do with dealing with Yui as well. How much card draw do I have? I'm worried I don't have much card draw. Might have built it wrong. Or I just drew bad in my first hand. It's possible. I don't think I need to worry about restoring light this turn, because with the amount of clashes I've got going, I'll get up to the next emotion level, so I say just go for it. Assault order, because I'm pretty good at that dodging shit. You're being targeted by a 5. You need to deal with that round in the chamber. Okay, I don't think you're going to do much damage, but we have 6 die apiece, so one-sided attacks are not really going to be an option. You have a lemon die you need to deal with, Kindling to the Fire. Okay. Bijir, perhaps, just get it going. And really want to deal with that. Not sure how well that'll do, but give Sharpened Blade a try. You've got some bonuses. And then finally, Lorelei. Yeah. Well, you've got no charge cards at the moment. How about you draw a page? That'll probably be helpful. Graze the grass. All right. One of these attacks is going to get through. Maybe just accept the facts that it's kind of going to go a little bit shit, but just make sure we land a hit. Gain that strength, which will help us in the rest of the battle, and then Graze Grass. An extra hit in on Lem. Okay, right, we'll see how it goes. Good, it's a start. It's not great, but it's whatever. Yep, those are some hits, alright. Good, solid. Kind of figured. That's fine, it worked out. Okay, good. Yep. Too quick for you guys, I'm afraid. I may be old, but it doesn't mean I'm slow. That didn't work because he had a counter die, but he did take a lot of damage, I think, from burn. I'm going to give Sweetman Pale Hands, because if he can land that extra stagger damage, that could go a long way. Yeah, Sweetman's gaining 6 strength this turn. All right. We're ready to get something going, I think, with him at the very least. Yeah, there's some stuff to do. We want to make sure Sweetman picks the same target each time, if possible. Focus Fire is going to be a rough one, but there is something we can do about that. Bayonet combat, okay. Snake Slit will cause you some problems due to the utter amount of strength, and then you've got Focus Fire going, which is a ranged card. Violet Blade will deal with that. That needs to be dealt with by Lorelei. What is it again? Round in the chamber. That's not so bad. Gaining 2 strength, so that'd be like 5 to 10, which is already way more than Yui can do. We can make sure that works out well. Shining Star. Yeah, that's a rough one. He's not gaining any power, though. I say we go, try for an augury kick. I'm not in love with our chances on that one. I'm not going to do much better, though. So Gion's the strength one, right? Yeah, so we could use true trigram formation. It would go up to 9, 12, and then with Gion, it would actually go up to 11, 14, because it'd be +1 to strength, and then +1 to power as a result of Gion being used to true trigram. Or we could go for augury kick, which would actually go higher. We're going to kind of have to rely on Lemon fucking this up, I suppose. Go Gion. And then reset this because I fucked it up. But there we go. And then me against Lem again. Don't need to clash with Promise and Determination. Don't bother. Use that. And then perhaps follow up with Multi-Slash. Because I'm not sure how many opportunities you're going to get to actually use that. So maybe get it done while you can. Let's see what happens. Good. Marvelous. Big hit. Massive hit, even. And that was a win. Yep. Yep. Oh, beautiful. Perfect and beautiful. Good stuff. Yep. Shining Star defeated. Look at that. Not surprised that didn't get through. But it's fine. We got what we wanted from a Multi-Slash. It's all good. I'm up to emotion level 2. Lorelei's still at 1, which is not great, but... yeah, because it means she can't use True Trigram this turn, which sucks. But she can get concentration going, which might allow her to... 10 charges can be stored at once. Bollocks. I completely built her wrong. Oh well, it's fine. It's fine. Well, I've decided it's fine, therefore it is. It's been a while, can you tell? Round in the chamber, point blank shot, reload, relentless pyre, burning will. Okay, yeah, none of this is unreasonable. I'm not surprised that this is going well, because they did state very specifically that this is not overtuned. This is not some kind of ridiculous, over-the-top, really, really, really good and powerful mod. It's thematic stuff, and there is dangerous stuff here that can be used very effectively, I'm sure. Kind of eager to get the opportunity to have a look when I get a sec. Swimman's got 5 strength, he's doing alright. I think I'll just smoking pipe that. It just nullifies it. And then reloads. Smoke blow will do something to it. I definitely need more card draw. That's, well, multiple of our characters' weaknesses actually is a lack of card draw. Noticing this a bit too late. But if we manage to land a stagger, it won't matter so much. Luckily, Lemon's using Promise and Determination again, so we can ignore that. This might end up being a situation where we just focus on Yui, because we've already kind of got it dead to rights. That might work. Maybe I can help? I have ever spinning gear wheel. That could do something. Those will gain +2. Give it a try. It'd be good to take some of the damage off Lorelei. I don't want it taking too much. You head up with that, and you are using reload. Could use Gone, and then use, where is it, there it is, Graze the Grass, and that should deal with that. You've kind of got a free attack. I think it'd be wise to leave it, because I wouldn't be surprised if these guys had mass attacks. Go for it. Good stuff. Amazing. Incredible. Good. No. It worked out. Hey, it was pretty even, and I just got my blade unlocked. That's some good times right there. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's going for it. Nice. Cool. Went well. Shockingly. Urging. Well, Foreman actually has the most HP, so we'll focus on tuning him up. Lemon now has 4 die. Immolation, yeah. All we need to do is contest 3 of his attacks, and then we can lean in on Yui. I know she's got protection, but hitting her while she's staggered would be good timing. If we're lucky, if we're big lucky, then what might happen is we'll be able to stagger Lemon just as Yui's coming back from her stagger and finish it that way. Unfortunately, you're not going to get your increased stagger damage this turn because you just don't have the fucking cards for it. You may as well swing at her then. Get the card draw. Yeah, card draw is definitely an issue. I need to work on that. Don't need to use... I mean, I may as well use that because we're just going to get it back next turn anyway. You're probably going to have to step up a little bit. True Trigram, perhaps, and sees your chance. Is being targeted by that. That's not great. I can only deal with 2 of these, and that's assuming I win. Even Immolation would be hard to deal with. Yeah, I'm not well suited to dealing with these. I'm at least relatively certain that my defensive... Although he is getting +2 to his endurance. He's not exactly bad at it. Smoke Smash will deal with that at the very least. Smoke Blow to deal with that. I'm running out of cards. It's a bad time. Can ignore that. Fuck it, get some hits in on Yui while we can. And see how it goes. Nice. Good, lots of stagger damage there. Love to see it. Not good. Not good. Not good. That was a terrible round. I'm going to give that to Sweetman, because he just seems to be doing well, I suppose. I'm going to try and avoid using ego pages, because it seems a bit unfair at this current moment. I reserve the right to be a shitter, however, because they've got... Why? Oh, Aegis of Flame. This page redirects any dice regardless of speed. Only usable at 10 plus burn. On use consumes 10 burn. If 10 burn was not consumed, destroy all dice on this page. Well, he has enough burn, so I think he's going to get to use it. She's not used her big special yet. I've got nothing. Will of the Prescript. Man, where the fuck were you when I needed you? As it turns out, my card draw wasn't even necessarily that bad. I just didn't draw very well. But maybe I do need more card draw. Maybe that is the thing I need. What I need is to redo Lorelei's shit so that she can actually get up to charge 11. That would be helping us out a lot right now. If I had done that, I didn't. Round in the chamber. You ain't got much going on. But you can deflect that at the very least. Can ignore that, I suppose. But it does speak to the fact that the mod is clearly not overtuned, because there are numerous flaws in my builds here, and I'm still doing alright. I'm still doing fine. Sweetman is fucking ridiculous though when he gets to get going, which I'm quite pleased with. Radiant Star. Not a lot I can do about that. May as well use Augury Kick, I suppose. She's almost at her next emotion level, so light won't be a concern soon. Augury Kick to deal with Focus Fire. I mean, I guess I'm just clashing with Aegis of Flame. Redirects any dice regardless of speed. Well, what if I just do nothing with my 7? Will that just be fine? I guess we'll find out, won't we? Dealing with rules I'm not overly familiar with. That's the thing, of course. Yui is easier to hit, but has a lot of defensive bonuses thanks to Lemon. Lemon has a lot of counter die and block die that are good at mitigating or outright negating damage. Just get another card for now. Start building up again. Brace would be a good shout. You are gaining 1 strength. Land a hit, I suppose, draw more cards. Okay, we'll see what happens. Wow, how'd you fuck that up? Oh, wow, oh, wow, oh, wow. Oh, wow, I got way too overconfident with some of these. That worked out. That's gonna suck. It did. Yep. These were not good clashes. They did not clash well. I was winning. That has changed. Burning. Okay, so Lemon's used up a lot of his good cards. She's using wings. Oh, you've got a fucking mass attack. Ah, fuck. Hey, I've got cards again. Hey, I'm doing all right. Hey, don't worry. Oh, I'm fine. Maybe. We'll see. It's mass individual. Okay. I don't think Snake Slit's gonna do it. I reckon Lorelei's gonna stagger. Which means me and Sweetman have to take up the clashes. Unless she successfully repels an 8 to 14 and a 6 to 10 with a +1 strength bonus with, like, concentration. She's getting +2 at strength, though. But concentration's unlikely to win on its defensive die. Well, you'll take less damage as a result of doing that, so that there is your best bet. I had a feeling there'd be a mass individual. I'd be really surprised if Lemon didn't have a fucking mass summation. I can just see it being a thing. I can probably deal with Burning Will. I don't know, we'll see. Round in the chamber. Smoke smash to deal with that. Ooh, boy. More ammunition coming in. 3 to 7 plus 1, 4 to 8. I'm only gaining a +1 at the moment. Because I'm not getting my bonuses from smoke. I will by the end of the turn, but... well, it'll suck to get hit by those, but... at least we can contest something, potentially. Yeah, everyone got hit. And I got hit. I'm being shot at. It hurts. Have some of that. I've been shot again. Good. Lucky. Yes. Yes. Good shit. Yes. Okay, cool. Winning clashes. Some. But the I-Core sucks. The erosion was pretty bad, and I have many debuffs. And Lorelai's staggered, of course. You only have one card. And it's not a good one. You're using Immolation. Okay. I've got a lot of debuffs. Disarmed, so my defense is down. And I'm burning. Burning! I'll at least see if I can deal with that. That's about what I've got right now. And maybe, despite the fact they are being heavily debuffed, maybe deal with that too. Become a mere memory. Fucking killing me. I reckon we're gonna lose Lorelai. We can't deal with that. And attempting to do so would just result in whoever attempts to clash it just getting hurt. Focus fire we can also ignore because, yeah, it's going on Lorelai, who's gonna die. So hit Lemon and hope for the best. Fucking dead as shit. That's something. Yep. Okay, could have gone worse. Not good. I need defensive die. I need my defensive die to be better now. It's 2 on 2. And we're running out of combat pages. Yeah, I've got 2, and you've got 1. And Yui has 5. I love this fucking track, though. Alright, no one ever said I had to fight fair. Fuck you. I make my own rules and I change them. I don't make the rules, except I abso-fucking-lutely do. That's coming to me. Can I deal with that? Not really. Sweetman, you're a bro. You know, you're my bro. I just need you to fucking spam ego pages. You can do that for me. I'd be very grateful. Maybe round in the chamber. I could see that winning, though. I kind of need this to take Lemon out. It's looking a little dicey. Yeah, it's just a little bit dicey. Defend there, and then maybe... I'm very much relying on the fact that Lemon's gonna die. Or stagger. What are his... He is more resistant to pierce, isn't he? No, it's normal. Okay, right. That might do it then. At which point we can now focus on Yui instead. It's a little closer than I thought it'd be, hey. How about that? Not that. This? Yes. I'm still gonna take a hit. I might die. I may dead it. It might be up to Sweetman after this. But getting rid of Lemon would help quite a lot. It sure would. A Marionette is gonna fucking hurt. I guess she blocked it. He's down. Good stuff. I'm fucked. Ah. Oh. Yes. No. Ah. All right, it's 1-on-1. God, I really could be a dick, couldn't I? Yeah, fuck you. Now that there's no heat to ward away the ice, you're all alone. How about that? Well, I'll tell you what. I got confident to begin with, and then nearly lost it all, and had to resort to using ego pages. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, guys, did you see how fucking skilled I was? No, absolutely not. But that was cool, and that was fun. Yui escapes. That's interesting. Are you guys planning a little follow-up, maybe, huh? A little follow-up to the Eclipse? I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it quite a lot, actually. That was fucking cool. Those are some good pages. That's some cool stuff. Yui killed me, which I always knew it would turn out this way. I had a feeling. They put up one fucker of a fight. Now, there are some problems with how I've built these guys. Well, I think chief among them is actually the fact that Lorelei needs that fucking trait that allows her to have 20 fucking charge. Yeah, triple R suit. I thought, I don't know why I thought this. I don't know why. I truly don't. But in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, the standard is 11 and it can go up to 20, you know? No, that's incorrect. That's wrong. It goes up to 10. I think with that additional strength and endurance to everyone, it might have made a difference in some cases. It's hard to say. These are definitely, I'd say these builds were definitely not builds that were like super well put together as much as they just used really powerful stuff. So, you know, I like mine. I think it needs more card draw though, because fucking hell, I ran out of pages a lot. I could change something out here to get more card draw in it. And Roland will never know because he didn't fight. Sweetman did fucking great. He did fantastically. The combination of him and Lorelei allows him to get shit tons of strength. And then he's just healing himself all the time. Super happy with that. I'm gonna save it even. I wish I could give it a name, but whatever. But yeah, with that out of the way, now that we've successfully defeated them, thank God for the infinite books, or yeah, infinite book fucking mod. Let's start by burning lemons. These are all the things I was expecting. Very good, very good. The problem is I actually have to build the pages, so I have to put the cards in them and shit, which I know I'm gonna fuck up. Very good, very good. Okay, well now Lemon and Yui have officially joined us on staff. That's quite nice. What if I gave Lemon Yui's page? I gave Yui Lemon's page. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It'd just be funny. That's a point. I don't think I have the appearance mod for Yui anymore. I don't know what the fuck happened to that. I know I used to have it, because I recognized the appearance that Yui on the field had, but I don't remember where the fuck that mod went. I'll have to look into that. It's fine. It's no big deal. Okay, so I don't really have any confidence in my ability to build these properly, at least not right now. So I want to run a test, but I want to run it... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. No, I'm not that confident. I don't think I can bring them to that fight anyway. I want to check this because I want to see what their card layouts are so I can set them up the same way. And then we can fiddle around with passive attributions and see what we can make out of it. So as far as I can tell, Lemon keeps most of the passive attributions he has in the fight. There might be some missing. In fact, I'm pretty sure there is, but it's difficult to keep going back and checking and going back here to confirm, so I don't really know. Yui is missing quite a few, but bottom deal on stacking the deck obviously comes from Hanafuda, so we're able to apply that ourselves. Defensive wall, no, I can't find anywhere. I suppose, actually, give me a minute. It's similar to Deflector Soul, I suppose, but it's not as good. It's extremely not as good. It's nothing as close to Defensive Wall. Defensive Wall is really good, and you just don't have access to it, which is fine. It's whatever. It just means she's not going to be quite as strong as she is during her reception. Okay, so for the purposes of what we're doing today, I tried to throw some stuff together. I don't know. I gave it a fucking go, but I don't have, like, an infinite amount of time to sit here and work on it today. But as we're doing more Sea-Wide Revolt and stuff, I'll have more time in the future to kind of diddle around with it a little bit. But obviously, I've given them the combat page setups that they had during their fights. They have the passives that come with their combat, with their key pages, which is Speed 3, Instinctual Coordination, Reactive Ignition, and Rayet for Lemon. I also gave him Nuovo Fabric, Overheat, Plume Discutian, Heavy-Hearted Forte, and Emergency Rations. So I figure, you know, Nuovo Fabric, less damage is always good. Overheat, which means he's basically always going to be gaining +1 power to his offensive die. Plume Discutian just increases the amount of burn that applies to his opponents. Heavy-Hearted Forte, there's a lot of deflecting going on, so a lot of extra stagger damage. So the ability to stagger opponents will become more and more viable as time goes on. Emergency Rations to kind of offset a lot of the damage taken from burn. The other option, I guess, would have been Magic Resistance from that City-Wide Revolt mod character, whose name I can't remember right now, but we don't necessarily want to get rid of Lemon's burn as such, because he uses it for a lot of his skills. So I figured instead of just getting rid of the burn, because he has cards to do that as well, and it's a tactical choice rather than just something you're trying to spend away, let's try and just mitigate the damage. I don't know, it could work, could not. Yui, I'm much less confident in, because I think, please correct me if I'm wrong here, or ignore me if I'm wrong, I guess, I think she's missing more of the crucial points from her reception loadout than Lemon is. So trying to build around her was a little bit more difficult, but I did what I could. She has all of her standard stuff, so we're talking Speed 3, Ammo Supply, Mixed Range Skirmishing, Kasha, and Raziel, but she also has Bomb Deck and Sack in the deck, which I had to add, which cost 4 passive attribution costs, but I honestly believe they're very necessary. Wedge, just for extra Pierce power. A lot of her more powerful die use Pierce, so that will help. And Fervor, just for more power of emotion level 3 or more. It's incredibly basic, what I've done with her. But that's because I didn't really know what to do as such. I didn't really know how to build into it properly, so I was like, well, instead of fucking around too much and getting nowhere, let's go with something a bit more simple. Wedge will help, like I said, with her more powerful die, Shot on the Run, a Par Bayonet Combat, Focus Fire, and Become a Mere Memory become more powerful. Don't know if it's necessarily necessary. Round in the Chamber and Reload also gain benefits, but all of them will gain benefits once we get to emotion level 3. This could work, it could not, I don't know. We're going to do a little reception. I'm not going to use Distorted Ensemble because I think that's absurd when you've only got 2 characters. Like, that's not a test. It's just not a test. What we're going to do instead is see how far we get with ArcCorp. I would be very surprised if they made it to the end of this because, yeah, the action economy is just not in our favor. Oh, this version of Lem doesn't gain 20 burn at the start of combat. I see. That is an issue. I'm gonna have Lemon take the Mind Whip hits. He'll beat one and get hit by the other. It's inevitable. And then Yui can just do what she can to try and mitigate damage. Graze the Grass we can ignore because it doesn't do much, but stuff like another Mind Whip, which there's actually nothing we can do about, which sucks. Yeah, there's fuck all we can do about that. Okay. This might not have been the best idea for a test, to be honest, but I'll give it a fucking go, won't I? Focus one down, I suppose. We need to kill him as quickly as possible. Oh boy, Lem, that's not a good start. That's a very bad start. That's an exceedingly bad start. Yeah, that sucks. Lemon does have a lot of block die, though. That will probably help. He just needs to win, I guess. It's the key point. But he's not taking much damage. The problem is, I don't think Yui will hang on very long because she doesn't have nearly as much damage reduction. And also, Lemon will get staggered. Oh no, I just noticed Yui totally does have her proper fit when using the key page, which is great. That's what I wanted. They're very fast. Have we got any Mind Whips going? Any of you being cheeky little fuckers? Nope. Okay, there's still a lot of damage coming in though. Shoot them. It'll stagger them. That's a start. Good stuff. Good. Good. Amazing. Fantastic. Bad. Bad. Nice. Yes. Yes. Please stop. Yeah, this was a poor choice purely due to the ridiculous action economy. They're not built for this. Which is not a detracting point from them, frankly. It's just that this was an absurd idea. Nice. Not at the moment. Okay. You could do a fucking off, like, immediately. What are you being attacked by? That. An energy strike. Well, it's a good thing you've got these 3-cost die with 3 die in them, hey? And the situation is looking slightly better now, although it's still not great. I'm not sure if Shot on the Run will... Although we do have a lot of ammunition. I think Lemon's going to get staggered this turn, which is not great. But then again, so is Yui, but maybe we could just spend the turn making sure Yui doesn't get staggered. That might be the best bet. So she can at least do something next turn. Yeah, give it a go. Oh, that's really bad. I thought she was going to win that. That's good. Take that. Fuck you. Eat shit. That's not the stagger deflect I was hoping for. I think these two are fucked. Yeah. Now, there is some good stuff here for sure. There's a lot of potential with Lemon's ability to stagger deflect, right? I think there is tons of potential there. There is obviously good potential with Yui, but I've yet to properly identify it just because, I don't know, I always liked range builds, but I was never good at building them. It was always my issue, which was, it like led to the time where one time I gave Yui a fantastic build and then promptly ruined it the second time around. I'm pretty sure Lemon's dead, isn't he? I'm pretty sure. That was, good night, Irene. No, he's still alive. Okay, well, let's see if we can do something then. May as well. He's staggered somehow. All right, then. Yeah, like, there's clearly potential with Yui as well. Now, obviously, I built them the exact same way as they were in their boss fight, but the thing is, the boss fight had additional benefits, as any, like, boss fight does, to ensure that they fight at their maximum potential without needing too much, like, startup, as it were. Obviously, with this version of them, they're not getting that same benefit, and as a result, it's a little bit more difficult for them to get going, especially in a situation like this when they're immediately under attack, and by all rights should have more support, right? They should have like 3 other people helping them out. So I tried this for fun. Like, I thought this would be a fun idea to, you know, just see how they do, but it was a poor decision. I fully acknowledge that. It wasn't well thought out, but overall, I quite like what I'm seeing, honestly. There's some good stuff. These are really cool, like, pages. Like, they're creative, they're interesting, they're thematic. I don't even know why I'm trying to strategize this. I'm pretty sure it's over, but fuck it. Yeah, there's really cool stuff here. I was hoping you might, you know, You didn't. It's okay. Yeah, no, there's some really cool stuff there. Some really good pages. It's balanced, so it's not like they're not an I win key page. You know what I mean? You can't just equip them and then expect to win. Like, you have to put work in. You have to build them properly. There's definitely some cool stuff going on. The fight was a ton of fun. It was real back and forth for a bit. Like, it started out really well in our favor and then started to fall apart. Clearly, these guys have some cool stuff going on if you can get them to last longer, but I didn't in that fight. And clearly, they can be built better as well. I don't know if leaning into as much burn here as I did is even the play for Lemon. Like, just because he has a lot of burn in his repertoire, it's mostly inflicted on himself. He doesn't really do it to other people. I tried to keep this in mind and not go with, say, Flaring Brand or Volatile Passion, because I knew we weren't inflicting that much in the grand scheme of things. I think Overheat is a good shout. I think that's a brilliant shout because Lemon always wants to have burn, so that +1 power will be permanent. The cost is a bit iffy though. And he does do a lot of defense, and this is for offensive dice instead. Nuevo Fabric, maybe. Heavy-Hearted Forte seems like a good shout. It's weird because it feels like the best move would be to move Lemon to the Floor of Religion and let him just destroy people with block. But that's one strategy. I'm sure there are many you can work with. But it's interesting. As for Yui, I like what she's got going, but I'm just not great at setting it up. I think the biggest issue there simply was that they're not built to be a 2-man fucking or 2-person Doom squad. You're supposed to use them as part of a team, and I didn't, because I wanted to see how they would play on their own. Fervor, I'm pretty sure, could be replaced with something better, and Wedge, to be honest. That's 8 attribution points that could honestly probably be spent better. But she doesn't have a lot of passive attribution stacks available, because once you've gotten the bottom deal and stacking the deck, which are kind of necessary for her gameplay style, although I guess you don't need them. You could play around with that and do something different. But once you've basically got that back into her loadout, you've only got 2 slots left to work with, which is a bit limiting. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just acknowledging the difficulty of the situation when using her. it's likely that probably the best way to use her, I guess, might be similar to what I did when I used her before, which was to use her as a bit more of a sniper character. Now, not using the ammo like I did with Singular Strike and the ammo and shit, because that was silly fun build I did for funsies. But I do mean, yes, she can clash. She can definitely clash and she gets a lot of protection, but maybe one-sided attacks are also a bit more of a focus here. She gains a lot of protection, or can gain a lot of protection as long as Lemon is alive, and you could build a team around making sure she basically never takes damage. If you had like an Ujat user on the team, or Kane Office, you know, because they have a lot of protection stuff going as well, you could just make sure she almost never takes damage, and she'd be free to just fire her gun all fucking day, and that would be really effective. Having these two work together by themselves is already interesting, but once you bring a full team into the situation, there's a lot of potential synergy. Naturally, having a Nikolai user on the team and a Mirane user on the team could cause these two to become ridiculous as well. I think that might actually be a really solid loadout, would be Mirane, Nikolai, and then a protection character, someone who spreads protection throughout the party, could just ensure that these two are almost never taking damage. Obviously, Lemon will keep taking damage from Burn, but I honestly found in that fight that Emergency Rations was doing a really solid job of just mitigating the amount of damage he takes because of the passive attribution that prevents him from taking burn damage if the burn value is below 20. Which is a really strong passive, by the way, and like I think that's quite easily abusable, but I would not remove it from him for a second because it makes absolute sense for his playstyle. I'm curious, actually. Tell you what, I want to check something real quick. So, unequip everything. Yep, unequip. Empty bookshelf, then key page. Where are you, Lem? There you are, unequip. And then we'll go, I don't know, Eva, if we check your passive attributions, is Lemon on this list? Okay, so I don't think you can use their passive attributions, which is fine because some of them are ridiculous and it is abusable, but you could basically reform Lemon's entire loadout, like give him his key page, but you could basically just not, if like this is for a very specific purpose, let me point out, you could just not bother with any of his standard key pages, and you suddenly have a character who is very, very good at fighting Zhao. Because, yeah, she can get your burn above 20, for sure, but it takes a while, and you've mitigated a lot of her damage over time for an extended period of time because you're refusing to take burn damage below 20, and then when your burn does get that high, you're providing protection and gaining endurance. On top of that, if we look at more of Lemon's pages, plenty of these do just gain burn, but I think a couple of them actually just spend it. Yeah, Relentless Pyre. Do you need to be using Lemon's page in order to have Relentless Pyre? I think you do. No, you don't! Right, so there's like a baked-in solution to Zhao here. Because Zhao's biggest problem is the amount of burn she puts out, but if you give everyone Relentless Pyre, yeah, that doesn't solve the problem in its entirety, but 5 less burn per turn, potentially, bearing in mind, of course, you probably won't get to use Relentless Pyre every single turn, but that makes the fight a lot easier by itself. Which, yes, this is one fight, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it is interesting that is a thing you can do. Shining Stars here as well. To get to use these in other decks would be interesting as well, seeing how it can all play out with each other. You could even go kind of silly, I think, and let's see, where's Zhao? There's Zhao. Get rid of all this stuff. Get this all out of here. Hey, it's nonsense. Don't need it. Where's Zhao again? There she is. Sadly, you can't have her, if you could have her ego combined with Lemon's page, that'd be fucking nuts. But there are ways to play him. I'm sure you could lean into a more burn-like build. He does inflict burn, so there are things you can do. But I don't think he's necessarily built to be a burn spreader as much as he's just made to capitalize on burn that he himself sustains or endures. I'm annoyed at myself because I'm not talking as much about Yui as I'd like to, but I'm just not sure what to do with her, is the thing. If I have a look more around at her things and stuff, it kind of is just ammunition and discard, which I like. I like that shit, absolutely. Don't get it twisted, but there's less to play with. There is a speed thing as well, where having higher speed causes more damage, which I guess means if you were willing to sacrifice like some of her pages, maybe 1 or 2, but if you got overspeed, she be better at playing with that, I suppose. And if you could perhaps get her passive attributions, let's find her, I think it's Gloria, to start lowering the costs and stuff, to make her stuff easier to use. We know what Gloria's is, I don't need to fucking go look at it. But there's stuff there that could work if you could get Become a Mere Memory's costs to go down, and obviously if we got on the Abno page, if the fight had lasted longer for a start, and we got on the Abno page on the Floor of History to start lowering card costs as well, there's stuff there to play with too. As a result, you could have her chucking out a lot of actions per turn because her combat pages, their costs would be diminished. The ammunition is free. Is it free or is it one cost? Don't care. Doesn't matter. You can throw out the ammunition as well to be putting out actions there similarly. So she could have a lot of long game in the sense where, yeah, maybe at emotion level 5 effectiveness does start to drop off a bit as it tends to for most characters, but she's still maintaining a higher level of active participation. Potentially. I don't know, there's a lot to think about. I've been sleeping like shit recently alongside being ill, so my brain just isn't running quite as fast as I'd like it to, but there's something to work with there, for sure. This isn't the last we'll see of these two, because like I said, I'm going to use them in the Sea-Wide Revolt series, which will be next time. Friends, thank you so much for watching. This mod's fucking rad. I absolutely love it. I think it's great. The fight itself was a lot of fun as well. I hope we'll see some kind of distorted or ego manifesting Yui as a little follow-up, considering that she fled the fight. I think that would be a fun little pseudo-narrative thing to work with. I think that could be really enjoyable. But even by itself, even what we've got here by itself is great. The pages are really good. The combat pages are interesting. The passive attributions and the way they can be used with other passive attributions are super interesting. I dig it. I absolutely dig it. I think they should put this on the Steam Workshop personally, but that is entirely up to them. That's not my decision to make. But cool fucking stuff. But that's all for today. Next time, Sea-Wide Revolt. Thank you so much for watching. Special thanks to our members and patrons, Miscreant, Raku Riku, Crescent, Stony the Horse, Cryolitic, Lada Hexara, Bissalangi, Ensistora, E, Lanthelian, Gage Donaldson, Hotcherman, Saga, Jack, Ninja Dog, Emma Fox, Grand Captain General Peace, Meanbag, Beback Tursum, Malignant Humor, Cuds, Kane Samaria, Poe, Portrait Bragg, Lifesteal, Mega Mr. Z-Man, Unclever Names, Summercat, Flanny, Painter Dragoon, Lib Potatoes, Proxy, Caminera, Moa, Heartland, Harrick J, Dresso, Sion Distance, Slol, Etherbin, Linky, Zeon Cedar, Bimbward, Alkia, Honeydew, Sweet Baby Red, Jessica T, Plutonium Pie, Dreamer Ghost Up Lullaby, K-Bub, Magic Owl, Frostbite Monsoon, SB1068, Namad, and Kenny T800. For support me on YouTube and on Patreon. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you all so much for watching. So clearly, I think it's pretty clear to see. I think we all can see where the mod authors fucked up, right? How this mod is, in fact, actually completely substandard compared to what it could be. You see, the big mistake here is that Lemon and Yui's pages do not have Myongist built in. What the fuck's up with that? It's like they don't even want to compete. What's going on? I like how these two key pages have turned out very much. I like them. They're not ridiculously powerful. It's kind of why I picked that rabbit fight, because I was like, right, how fucking loony are these two? Are they actually ridiculous? And the answer is no, and that's good, because they're not an I win button. I don't want I win buttons in my games. I think they're boring. I think they are utterly, utterly boring. There is no fun in a fight that you already know you've won. Or at the very least, there is very little fun in a fight that you know you'll win. It's just busy work. It's just a chore. And the thing is, these guys, I say on that perspective of things, but on the other side of the boat, these characters aren't bad. They're actually really good, and there's a lot of good stuff working with them. And like I said, with a full team behind them, putting together a full team, some absolutely staggering shit could be done. You could easily beat the hardest encounters in the game with them. Like, they could do a great job of that, and I reckon they'd hold their own in at least some mods. I know some mods are ridiculously overtuned, but mods who aren't made by a fucking hyperactive 12-year-old who's just downed another gram of sherbet, you could probably have some decent fights going there. Let me know what you think of this mod. I'm quite keen. I think the Eclipse is really fucking solid, and I hope it goes public so that other people can enjoy it too. But let me know what you think, and whatever happens next time, hope I see you there. Toodles, goodbye. I actually have no idea if it's public. They just sent me a file directly. It might be public. I don't know. Bye.